Y'all, today we're going to be talking about my most favorite person ever. That's Austin McBroom. I don't know what it is. Okay, if I'm being so for real with you guys, like, I don't know why I just think of these scenarios. No one has literally asked me. I mean, sure, maybe somebody has asked me in the comment section before, like, what is it about him that you just don't like? I don't know if you guys have ever, like, felt this way about somebody before where you're like, I just don't like them. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like there doesn't need to necessarily just be a reason. And I just feel like for the longest time, and I'm talking about even before, like, this fool was being called out and everything, I just have always not liked Austin McBroom. I don't know why. For some reason, he has just always given me such narcissist, egotistical, just like straight up D word vibes. You know what I mean? And I'm just kind of like, I don't know. There's not one exact reason of why I just don't like him. I just don't like him. And I don't know why for some reason I just always feel like maybe I do like need to have a reason. But then at the end of the day, no, I don't need to have a reason about it. I just don't like him. Okay. Like he has just always just been so to me. Like I never have understood the mass like appeal. And y'all, I gotta keep it real with you guys. There is a couple of my homegirls, and honestly, even my mom like used to be a fan of the Ace Family vlogs, and I'm like, I don't know, but a couple of my homegirls actually like really like him, and I'm like, he just seems like a cornball. He just seems so goofy. I'm just like, ugh, I don't know why for some reason I just get a little bit tripped out with that, like, you know, he's so popular. Anyways, today we're going to be talking about him because he's speaking out about Catherine's, y'all, I literally just drew a blank on her name, his ex-wife Catherine, okay, I forgot her last name. I think it's like Paiz, I think, something like that. He's speaking out about her wedding, which a lot of people are saying, okay, that he like seems sad and he seems just kind of like, what's the word, like melancholy about it, you know what I mean? Like he just, I don't know. I do have to keep it real though. Obviously, maybe it is like eye-opening to him because at the end of the day, he did her dirty. If you guys do not recall, this fool done cheated on her with plenty of women, and I think like it's kind of crazy that she's moving on over here and she's already getting married. Also, a lot of people are, you know, kind of throwing shade at him because he did make a comment, and I'm gonna play it within today's video, that he made a comment of saying like, oh, well, you know, he had, or they had to like hurry up and, you know, get married because he's not from here, and in order for him to stay here in America, then they have to get married. And I have to say this, of course, like people are going to be like, oh, he's being shady about it, but I do gotta say, speaking from experience, if you guys know my life story, and I was just about to get married to my damn ex, because he obviously was a foreigner, and I was like, well, in order for us to have any chance of a real relationship, we kind of would have to get married. Even though I got to keep it real with you guys, for me personally, I don't ever care to be married. It's not something that I'm just kind of like, oh my gosh, I want to be married. Like, sure, I'm open to it. However, it's just not something that I'm like, oh my god, I want to be a married man. With my ex though, y'all, because I was like going over there for multiple days, he was coming over here for multiple days, like it was just a thing that we could only stay together. I could only stay in Europe for 90 days. He could only stay here in America for 90 days. That we were just kind of like, okay, well, we have to get married. You know what I mean? And luckily, God stepped in and was like, oh, no, sir, you're not getting married because he banned him from America, which I'm not laughing about that, okay? Well, maybe I'm kind of laughing about it because he's stupid and that's kind of what he gets, you know what I mean? But anyways, I just felt like God was just kind of like, you know, yeah, this is not meant to be. And I do got to keep it real with you guys. Like, I do feel like when you're in a situation like this, sometimes it does pressure you into getting married. If you guys watch 90 Day Fiance, y'all know there are several couples on that show who are like, well, damn, like, you know, I could only be over there for 90 days. You could only be over here for 90 days. And obviously you kind of are pressured into getting married if you really do want to give your relationship a shot. So I do feel like some people are low-key kind of just like, you know, throwing shade at him and kind of bashing him because they don't like him when it comes down to him making that comment, because I understand what he's saying. Obviously, you know, maybe he's thinking because maybe he knows more behind the scenes. Maybe he talks to Catherine more, and maybe they just kind of felt the pressure to get married because obviously, you know, they gotta, I don't know, like, you know, give it a full shot of being together, because I'm so sorry, y'all, but like making it work long distance is just a hell to the no, especially for multiple years. And I do think they've been together for a couple years at this point. Anyways, I do want to go to start this off by playing a clip to where, like, I guess he was on a live stream and I guess people were like asking him questions, and he was speaking out about him going to the wedding. And he does, you know that some people are like, oh, that's going to be a little bit weird. But I do have to say this, okay? Being that they have been through their fair share of drama, and obviously, as you guys know, as soon as Catherine went onto the Call Her Daddy podcast, low-key, Austin McBroom was kind of like pressed about that, and you guys saw him hop onto Snapchat and kind of like, you know, say, oh, I was going to come out with this video, and she's the one that encouraged me not to come out with it because I was going to say that I cheated. And it was just a whole bunch of like he said, she said. And I just feel like at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter because he did her dirty, okay? Like he cheated on her with multiple women. And it's like, wow, all of those rumors that were out there years ago did come out to be true. So obviously there's no smoke without a fire. But I do have to say this. I think that it's very mature of the both of them to be able to, you know, have a very healthy co-parenting relationship. And honestly, from what I have seen so far, I really do think like it seems very, very healthy. Another thing I do want to say, you know what's so crazy? This is how you guys should just really know about me, okay? That I'm a really level-headed person because I do not like this man. But I do have to say, a lot of people do speak out about him in the aspect of like, oh my gosh, why is Catherine always in his mouth? But I'm like, y'all, he's on a live stream and people are obviously asking about that. And on top of that too, like he is a person that kind of like shares his life on the internet. Do you know what I mean? So I gotta keep it real. If I was in his shoes too and my ex was moving on and we had a really good like friendship or co-parenting relationship and people were asking me about it, yeah, I'm gonna answer the question. Do you know what I'm saying? I just feel like that's what people, you know, want to know, and they're obviously like, you know, involved in my life and blah blah blah. So I do understand why he does speak out about her sometimes. You know what I'm saying, about certain topics. I don't think that he's like, you know, clout chasing or anything like that. And I do feel like everything that he says about her, it really does seem so wholesome. You know what I mean? Obviously, we don't know the behind the scenes, but I do have to say, okay, after you guys know that I always talk about like Brianna Olsen and 2K and things like that, as to where we can see they have a very tumultuous, toxic relationship, I feel like, wow, everything does look pretty peaceful and does look, you know, it seems like they're coexisting really well together. And I think that's very healthy for the kids. And if I gotta keep it real with you guys, okay, I do feel like that's pretty damn rare for, you know, that bad of things to happen and them to have a healthy relationship. So I do think that it speaks very highly of Catherine, because if I was Catherine, oh my gosh, y'all, I swear I'd be up at that wedding. I'd be like, hey, everybody, you need to throw your bag of rice at this fool. That's what I would do, okay? I'm just saying, if I were to invite my cheating ex to my wedding, I'd be like, everybody throw a straight up bag of rice at this fool. Just because, I don't know, like that's something that, I don't know, I just feel like I would always be a little bit bitter about. You know what I'm saying? That's just me. Anyways, check out this first clip right here.
I'm sure you guys are wondering if I'm going to the wedding. Some of you may think it's weird, but she did invite me to the wedding. She said the kids want me to go, so she extended the invite to me, which I appreciate. And she said if I didn't go, she completely understands why I didn't go. But I feel like I have no reason not to go. If my kids want me to be there, I'm obviously going to support. I think it'll be fun. And I think out of everything, I'm really happy that the kids get to be a part of a wedding. Right? Like, why would I not be happy about that?
Okay, I'm gonna keep it real with you guys, only because I do not watch his content very well. I don't know his demeanor, his mannerisms, his characteristics. A lot of people were like, oh my gosh, like he looks so sad. But y'all, he did actually on that same live stream, he was like, wait, I've been chilling with you guys on live this whole entire time and I've been looking the same this whole entire time. But then as soon as I mention Catherine, you guys think, oh, he looks sad. I don't know. Okay, I do have to say from some of the things, I'm going to play a clip right now, actually, to where he was saying I might cry at her wedding. Like, maybe he really is, you know, kind of sad about it, because I think we've talked about this before. There are several therapists out there that say a woman processes a breakup during the relationship and then a man processes the breakup after, meaning that it doesn't really set into a man until way after the fact. That's why, if I'm keeping it real with you guys, y'all know that for those of you that come on my live stream and you guys like ask me for advice, like honestly, y'all, I'm always like, leave them. And honestly, if you're even not even like firm on leaving your man, like I get it if you're like, oh my gosh, I'm really not like over this person and I still want to give it a shot. Still, I feel like when it comes down to a man, like what is crawling on my face right now? Like I just feel things on my face. Anyways, I just feel like when it comes down to a man, you really do have to set it in motion and be tough and be like, you know what, like this fool is not treating me right. At least step out for like 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? Go stay at your parents' house, go stay at a friend's house, just get away from this man to kind of like call bluff. You know what I mean? Because I really do feel like a lot of men, they don't really believe it until they see it. Do you know what I'm saying? And I feel like maybe that is the case with Austin McBroom, because maybe he's just kind of like barely processing it now, and now everything's setting into him of like, oh my God, like I really did this woman dirty. Like I played her, I did her so wrong. And maybe he really is sad about it. But like I said, honestly, I've probably seen about 2 of the Ace Family vlogs. And of course, yes, when all the drama popped off, I did watch his videos. But I don't know too much about him because even, like I said, even before his cancellation, I've just always been like, he just irritates me. Like, honestly, from the vlogs that I've seen of him before, I was like, this fool is a straight up cornball. And I don't know why, to me, it just, I don't know, it just seems so performative and so fake, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know too much about his characteristics, but this is him talking about he might cry at the wedding. Check it out.
That's why I cry. I might cry. I might cry. Shit. Imagine like being with someone for 10 years and then seeing them get remarried and being their happiest they've ever been. Like, that is a big moment. Like, regardless of what happened with her and I's relationship, like when it comes to us co-parenting and being friends, like obviously I want the best for her.
For those of you that know him, more than I do, let us know in the chat if you do feel like he was, getting a little bit emotional of that, or you guys really do think that, like, oh my gosh, he is sad about this. I do want to go to play another clip right here, though, y'all, because this is him kind of like reacting to her stories, because he's saying that he's reacting to her, I believe it's her Snapchat stories, to where she was, announcing the engagement to the public. I guess obviously he had already knew about it before she made a public announcement, and everybody once again was saying like, oh my gosh, he's sad about this. Also, too, you guys are going to see in the very beginning of the clip that I guess Catherine had posted like, oh, like 2 years or something like that, and he's like, no, I think she got the date wrong on that, because I think they've been together for like almost 3 years. So of course a lot of people are like, wait, how does this fool know exactly how long they've been together? Like, oh my gosh, is he tracking down the dates? Like, this fool really must be, tracking her every single step, because obviously he did make that comment, which I don't know, you know what I mean? I feel like that's something that I probably would pay attention to. Like, if we broke up and like I knew that my partner had moved on, like I'd be like, hey, y'all been together for like 3 years, you know what I mean? But I don't really know what the truth is, because to be honest with you guys, I don't follow Catherine, I don't follow him, so I don't know. Anyways, check out this clip right here.
And now, almost 2 years later, after everything, I can't imagine doing life without you. That's sweet. Now, almost 2 years later, I think she messed up on that. It should be almost 3 years later, but okay. Okay, now I'm just looking at, sorry guys, if you didn't see this, I'm seeing it for the first time with you guys, so on Snapchat. Nice little photos. Feeling safe and loved and conditional is the greatest feeling. That's nice. Okay, here we go. 7 months ago, on Valentine's Day morning, he asked me to marry him. Okay, so it was on Valentine's Day, 7 months ago, he asked. I wonder why they waited, or why she waited this long to tell us.
To be honest with y'all, I could totally understand how people are kind of like, okay, this is a little bit weird that this fool's up on his live stream and he's all scrolling through pictures of Catherine and like her engagement and her announcing it to the public. You know what I'm saying? I could totally get how, from the public's eye, it's kind of like, okay, this man, it does seem a little bit weird. However, I'm gonna just assume that they have a really good, healthy relationship. Do you know what I'm saying? However, I gotta keep it real, y'all, and I'm always gonna stand by this. I just couldn't even be friends with somebody. Like, honestly, like, I feel like if you did me dirty, like, sure, I would be like, okay, I'm gonna be cordial with this person if I have kids with them. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna be bashing them and doing crazy things. However, I don't think I'm gonna be like friendly with you. You know what I'm saying? And I obviously do feel like they are friends, because, she's over here inviting him to the wedding, which I just could not see myself doing, even if I did have kids. You know what I'm saying? After this fool done cheated on her with so many damn people, made her look so dumb to the public. You know what I'm saying? As soon as like Tana Mojo and all these other people were coming out saying, oh, this man is cheating on you with so many different girls, like, I don't know. I just couldn't look past that. That's why I say, hey, this really does show Catherine's heart. It shows that she really is a good person. And I do think that she is obviously, letting this go for the sake of her children. But I don't know, I just couldn't do it, and I could definitely understand how people are kind of like, okay, why is this man like scrolling through her stories? But I'm assuming that they have a really healthy friendship, okay, and co-parenting relationship. I do want to go ahead and play one last clip, okay, talking about this whole situation, to where he did make the comment on his live of like, oh, obviously they need to get married so that way he could stay here. I understand how a lot of people are taking this the wrong way. A lot of people are saying like, oh my gosh, like basically this fool, the way he like worded it, a lot of people are kind of like, jumping to the gun over here of making it seem like, oh, maybe this guy Igor, I forget exactly how to pronounce his name, is using Catherine for like citizenship. I could understand how people could like have that perception, but I'm like, honestly, y'all, if you guys watch 90 Day Fiance, obviously I know through like personal firsthand experience, like sometimes you really do feel the pressure to get married, because you're like, oh my gosh, like I'm so tired of only being able to spend 1 month with you, 2 months this time, 3 months maximum. Do you know what I mean? So I think that maybe he does know a little bit more, and maybe Catherine was speaking to him about things, and maybe she said like, hey, like obviously we do feel the pressure to get married because we're so tired of doing the long distance thing. Do you know what I mean? As to where other couples who are obviously both citizens here in America, it's kind of like you could move to freaking, I don't know, from California to Florida or whatever the case may be, and you could still be together without having the pressure of getting married. But when you're from a different country, you do have the pressure of getting married. You know what I'm saying? So I could understand how people could be like, oh, that's a little bit messed up. But then I'm kind of like, no, but as soon as you really know, and if y'all watch 90 Day Fiance, y'all know so many couples on there are like, well, I wouldn't have got married, but I felt like we need to. You know what I'm saying? Check this out.
I'm very happy for them, the both of them. And I want to congratulate the both of them. I think we've talked about this before, but obviously knew about it way before you guys knew about it. I always know first. It happened a long time ago. I'm not sure exactly when or like what month it happened, but it definitely happened a long time ago. Um, as you guys are aware, I think it needed to happen sooner than later because he's obviously not from here. So in order for him to stay, that had to happen.
I'm so curious to know what you guys think about that certain clip right there because I did see the most people talking trash about him about that one right there because they were like, he needs to watch out with his wording because obviously this is like making her look bad. It's making him look bad, the soon to be groom. And I'm just kind of like, okay, I could understand that. However, it's just kind of like, it's a reality of the situation. And people do say it on 90 Day Fiance. They say it straight up to production. They say it straight up in their interviews. They say it straight up on the reunion. Like, I don't think I would have got married if I didn't need to. You know what I'm saying? Which I don't think there's anything wrong to that because honestly, y'all, like I said, I was in the same boat. I literally was. I was like, I don't care to get married, but I kind of feel like I have to in order for us to have a normal relationship and not do the long distance thing. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, make sure you guys let me know your thoughts and opinions about everything. I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out, Girl Scout.